In yet another twist to the public relations saga of Meghan Markle, a recent clip has surfaced, allegedly revealing the Duchess of Sussex using staged images of Afghan women during an extravagant holiday dinner party to bolster her image as a global humanitarian. What was meant to be a moment of reflection and charity has instead ignited a fiery debate, with critics accusing Meghan of exploiting the plight of vulnerable Afghan women for a carefully orchestrated photo opportunity. The controversy raises serious questions about authenticity, ethics, and the dangers of performative activism in the pursuit of public adoration. The leaked clip, which has quickly gained traction online, reportedly shows Meghan presenting images of Afghan women in distress to a star-studded audience at her upscale Montecito home. The dinner, initially billed as a heartfelt gathering to shed light on the struggles of Afghan women under Taliban rule, now appears to be little more than a glossy veneer masking self-promotion. Critics argue the visuals were intentionally curated to evoke sympathy and admiration, but a closer examination reveals startling discrepancies. Several images, initially believed to portray Afghan women, allegedly originate from unrelated stock photo collections or outdated materials that do not reflect the current crisis. This revelation has sparked outrage, with many accusing Meghan of appropriating the suffering of others to craft a narrative of compassion that benefits her personal brand. This incident is not the first time Meghan has faced accusations of performative activism. Over the years, critics have pointed to her tendency to align herself with humanitarian causes in ways that seem more focused on publicity than tangible impact. From her high-profile interviews to carefully choreographed public appearances, Meghan has often been accused of prioritizing optics over substance. Take, for instance, her infamous trip to Uvalde, Texas, in the aftermath of the tragic school shooting in 2022. Meghan was photographed laying flowers at a makeshift memorial, a gesture that many initially praised. However, as details emerged, skeptics began questioning the intention behind her visit. Critics noted that her arrival was accompanied by a personal photographer, whose images quickly circulated across media outlets, sparking accusations that the visit was less about genuine solidarity and more about maintaining her public image as a global advocate for change. The Afghan dinner party debacle appears to fit neatly into this pattern. By allegedly using misleading imagery, Meghan risks trivializing the very issues she claims to champion. Afghan women, who face unimaginable hardships under oppressive regimes, deserve more than being reduced to props in a Hollywood-style production aimed at enhancing the optics of a lavish soiree. The use of misleading visuals in the context of humanitarian advocacy raises serious ethical concerns. By presenting outdated or unrelated images as though they represent the current struggles of Afghan women, Meghan is accused of undermining the credibility of genuine efforts to address the crisis. This kind of performative activism not only diminishes public trust but also risks diverting attention away from organizations and individuals doing real, impactful work on the ground. Notably, several Afghan women's rights advocates have spoken out against the misuse of their struggles for personal gain. In a scathing op-ed published shortly after the clip leaked, one activist lambasted Meghan's actions, stating, "Our pain is not a spectacle. To see our suffering exploited in the name of someone else's self-promotion is deeply hurtful and counterproductive to our fight for justice." Such sentiments highlight the harm that can arise when privileged individuals co-opt narratives of oppression without meaningful engagement or accountability. Another point of contention is the setting of the controversial dinner party itself. Hosted at Meghan and Prince Harry's sprawling Montecito estate, the event reportedly featured an opulent menu, fine wines, and a guest list boasting Hollywood elites. Critics have been quick to point out the glaring disconnect between the extravagance of the evening and the grim realities faced by the Afghan women whose images were displayed. The optics of such an event are undeniably problematic. While Meghan and her guests dined in luxury, the women she claimed to represent continue to endure extreme poverty, violence, and systemic oppression. This juxtaposition has led many to question whether Meghan truly understands, or even cares about, the gravity of the issues she purports to advocate for. As one commentator aptly put it, you cannot claim to stand in solidarity with the oppressed while reveling in the privileges of the elite. The backlash to the leaked clip has been swift and unforgiving. Social media platforms have been flooded with criticism, with hashtags like #PhotoOpMeghan and #StagedCompassion trending worldwide. Even some of Meghan's staunchest defenders have struggled to justify the apparent inconsistencies in her actions. Public relations experts warn that this latest controversy could have lasting consequences for Meghan's credibility. Authenticity is key in the world of philanthropy, one expert explained. When people sense that a public figure's advocacy is insincere or self-serving, it can do irreparable damage to their reputation. Indeed, the fallout from this incident extends beyond Meghan herself. By perpetuating a narrative of staged compassion, she risks undermining broader efforts to mobilize support for Afghan women. Activists worry that the controversy could lead to skepticism about the legitimacy of future campaigns, making it harder to secure the resources and attention necessary to address urgent humanitarian crises. What makes this incident particularly frustrating for many is the missed opportunity it represents. With her platform and resources, Meghan had the potential to make a real difference in the lives of Afghan women. Instead of relying on staged visuals and superficial gestures, she could have used her influence to amplify the voices of Afghan activists, fund grassroots organizations, or lobby for policy changes that address the root causes of the crisis. This pattern of missed opportunities is a recurring theme in Meghan's activism. While her intentions may be well-meaning, her execution often falls short, leaving critics to question whether her primary goal is to effect change or to curate a public image. As one observer noted, activism is not about looking good, it's about doing good. Until Meghan understands this, her efforts will continue to ring hollow. The controversy surrounding Meghan Markle's holiday dinner party serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of performative activism. While the Duchess may have intended to draw attention to the plight of Afghan women, her reliance on staged images and lavish settings has instead overshadowed the very cause she sought to highlight. In a world where authenticity is increasingly valued, public figures must recognize that actions speak louder than words, or carefully curated photo ops. If Meghan truly wants to make a difference, she must move beyond superficial gestures and engage with the issues she champions in a meaningful, transparent, and impactful way. Until then, critics will continue to view her activism as little more than an elaborate performance, designed to win applause rather than effect real change. The question remains, will Meghan learn from this controversy and embrace a more genuine approach to advocacy, or will she continue to prioritize optics over substance? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: performative compassion has no place in the fight for justice and equality.